Hello everyone and welcome to a new YouTube video here on my channel. Today we have Burning Oil Gruul Aggro / combo. I always wanted to try this out. This is a best of one deck. Today we have some little combos and it has a lot of new cards from Phyrexia. So if you just started, I think this is maybe a deck for you because you can use a lot of the cards and you can definitely also make this budget friendly. If you ever want to see a budget list from me, let me know in the comment below. And of course, feel free to subscribe and follow me on Twitch or in Discord. And I would say we just start with the deck tag. So this is the deck. So this is the deck we are going to play today. It's the Burning Oil deck. It's a Gruul aggressive deck with some different lines we can go here. And we use a lot of the new cards with the oil counter mechanic. And I would say we go over them and then we just explain more about what exactly we want to do. I think we start with the 1-drop here, which is Evolving Adaptive. It's a 1 green 0/0, comes on the battlefield with an oil counter. Whenever this card, whenever we play a creature card under our control and that creature has greater power or toughness than Evolving Adaptive, we can put an oil counter on it and it gets +1/+1 for each oil counter. So this is like a pseudo pelt collector, if you do remember. And on the 2 slot we have Armored Scrapgorger, 2 mana 0/3. It becomes +3/+0 as long as there are 3 or more oil counter on it, and we can tap it for mana for any color. And whenever we tap Scrapgorger, we can exile a card from a graveyard, and if we do, we can add the oil counter on this card. Then we also have Migloz, a Maze Crusher, 3 mana 4/4, already really good. Comes to the battlefield with 5 oil counters. We can remove 1 for 1 mana. It gains Vigilance and Menace. We can remove 2 for 2 mana. It gets +2/+2. And we can pay 3 and remove 3 oil counters and destroy target artifact or enchantment. Then we also have the Forge in this deck, which is a 3 mana artifact. At the beginning of our combat on our turn, we can put an oil counter on Urabrask Forge and then create an X1 red Phyrexian horror creature token with trample and haste. And X is the number of oil counters, and at the end step we sacrifice that token. So these are our main oil counter creatures, but we also play a card called this Filigree Sylex. 2 mana legendary artifacts. We put an oil counter on the Sylex here. We can sacrifice the Sylex. We can destroy each non-land permanent mana value equal to the number of oil counters on the Sylex, which is actually really nice. Can be really useful in certain scenarios, especially against like these 1/1 tribes or against tokens if we never put an oil counter on it. And yeah, we can also remove 10 oil counters from among permanents we control and sacrifice the Frigolin Sylex, and then we do 10 damage to any target. So that is like a good finisher, good removal if we need to, and we can get really fast oil counters with the card I just mentioned. Then we also have Quirion Beastcaller, 2 mana 2/2. Whenever we cast a creature spell, put the +1/+1 counter on the Beastcaller. When it dies, we distribute X +1/+1 counters among any number of creatures we control, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on the Beastcaller. This is just a really good card for curve. We do have a lot of creatures still, and that is why we play this 4 times. Then we also play 4 Lightning Strike, which is a 2 mana 3 damage. We play 2 Kami Flare, which is 2 mana 3 damage. And if we have a modified creature, and we usually have a modified creature, we also do 2 damage to face. So we also play the Bloated Contaminator, 3 mana 4/4, trample, toxic 1. Whenever this card deals combat damage, we play with Proliferate, so we can actually put all where we have like oil counters or normal counters, we can +1, which is really nice. Then we have Thundering Raichu, which is a 4 mana 3/3, haste spirit. When Thundering Raichu attacks, put the +1/+1 counter on target creature we control, and then we deal X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of modified creatures we control, other than Raichu. So really good with our modified creatures here, of course. And then we have Solphim, Mayhem, Dominus, 4 mana, 5/4, Phyrexian Horror. If a sorcery control would deal non-combat damage to opponent or permanent and opponent controls, it deals double that damage to the player or permanent. So this is literally a 1-turn kill, which is really strong. It also goes well with our shoot spell, and other than that, it's a 5/4 that can get indestructible because you can pay 2 Phyrexia and 1 and discard 2 cards, and then we put the indestructible counter on Solphim. So always indestructible. It can still get exiled, or you can still -/ or like bounce or whatever, but it cannot be destroyed or die to combat damage. Our mana base is as followed. 2 mana 3/3, 2 mana 4/4, 2 mana 5/4, 2 mana 6/6, 2 mana 7/7, 2 mana 8/8, 2 mana 9/9, 2 mana 10/10, 2 mana 11/11, 2 mana 12/12, 2 mana 13/13, 2 mana 14/14, 2 mana 15/15, 2 mana 16/16, 2 mana 17/17, 2 mana 18/18, 2 mana 19/19, 2 mana 20/20, 2 mana 21/21, 2 mana 22/22, 2 mana 23/23, 2 mana 24/24, 2 mana 25/25, 2 mana 26/26, 2 mana 27/27, 2 mana 28/28, 2 mana 29/29, 2 mana 30/30, 2 mana 31/31, 2 mana 32/32, 2 mana 33/33, 2 mana 34/34, 2 mana 35/35, 2 mana 36/36, 2 mana 37/37, 2 mana 38/38, 2 mana 39/39, 2 mana 40/40, 2 mana 41/41, 2 mana 42/42, 2 mana I think you can cut 2 of these. I tried it, and there was a game where I mean, maybe that's just me. I drew them always, and usually that should not be the case. But yeah, this is the mana base. We have 1 Sokensan, we have 1 Bosechu, and we have 3 Monumental Facade, which is, yeah, we come to the battlefield with 2 oil counters at 1, and we can remove an oil counter and put an oil counter on an artifact or creature we control. You can only use this as sorcery speed. This can also be nice with Proliferate, and these oil counters also count towards Sylex. So this is the deck. It's well, pretty straightforward. There's a lot of little things you can do. We have a good curve here. We have the Sylex Solphim combo. We have a lot of pressure against control here. But yeah, I think it's overall a really fun deck to play. If I would have to rank it, I would say it's like a tier 2 best of 1 deck. That's more fun to play than the classic aggro decks, in my opinion. So if you want to try the oily aggro with a little bit of a combo in it, then that's the deck to go. And yeah, with no further ado, enjoy the games. Let's see. We go first. We have a turn 2. So I will keep this. I wish I had a turn 1, but you cannot have everything. Turn 3 is also decent, so that's okay. If we find a turn 4 card, it's even better. But it is what it is. Red. Red is interesting. We do have removals for creatures. And we tend to have the stronger creatures. So that's gonna be okay, I guess. Is that the Rakdos sacrifice deck? Like there is a deck around right now. That I know. They could have 2 damage on hand, so we probably let this go if they attack. Nothing to remove yet. We definitely want to drop our 4/4 here. That is for sure. It's really nice that we can proliferate our Monumental Facade. What in the world? Ah, it's probably the one of the enchantments, huh? I would assume. We're gonna drop one of these. So they're all 1-drops, right? So we can literally play the Sylex, put a counter on it, and then remove the entire board. Because they're all 1-drops. So Sylex is actually kind of versatile. We don't have a 1-drop, so just stop blocking here, trying to avoid a lot of damage. And then cleanse the board with Sylex. Or the Goblins. That's funny. Standard Goblins, I'm losing it right now. Okay. Standard Goblins it is. Interesting. We do not attack here. We use the Calming Flare on this one, and the rest we're just gonna get rid of. Okay. Okay. Here. This one can get stronger. So these are the Proliferators. I'm gonna get rid of this one. With Kami's Flurry, and then we put a counter on the Sylex. Now they definitely need more damage than 2 to deal with this one. Let's see what they're gonna do. Okay, that makes sense. They just want to fight cards, I guess, but 2 damage is fine. It's not enough though. Okay, I see what they do. That's kind of cool. That is kind of cool. But I don't know. It is a funny interaction. That is for sure. We take damage here. Cannot prevent that damage. We can get rid of the board, which is nice. That's so interesting. Yeah, now here we're just gonna use the Sylex, right? And cleanse the board with our artifact. They can play this until end of turn. But I'm not too scared about it, so... This just feels way too good. Like, that's a board wipe. That's literally a board wipe. Yeah, that's all good. That's all good. And now we start attacking here. We should have done full control here to get an extra counter here, but it's still okay. Get a full control this, remove a card there, get an extra counter. I mean, you see how fast this goes. We have already 6-3, we could also use the 10 damage there. But I mean, a board wipe just seems better in this case scenario. And we have a lot of power on the field, which is not easy to deal with. Okay. Okay, sure. That is fine by me. That is fine by me. So now we're gonna start putting counter on this boy as well. That's an interesting draw here. Vigilance and Menace is always good. But I think just gonna play this one here. An indestructible card is not easy to deal with. We're still on 12, I don't think we just die. So there's a lot of damage. Even if we draw like a spell now, it's gonna be intense. It's gonna be intense. And our Scrap Quarter can now become a 3-3 if we want to. And we have a huge board. Okay. That's really cool to see a standard Goblin deck. That's definitely cool. And now we have a 3-3 here as well. That's pretty good. Okay. Now, I wish I could have done the 10 damage now and they don't let me. This would have been lethal, but I mean, what it is. Okay, next one. What do we have here? Yeah, no, it's fine. That's fine. Especially if we have this turn 3, that's already quite powerful and hard to deal with. And Sylex with these two is also fine. And I think Sylex is an underrated card, especially if there's like a Soldiers and all these cheap cards. It feels really good there. You can just get rid of the board, and yeah, especially like in best of one, I feel like this is actually a deck that can perform surprisingly well, because people don't expect this type of deck recently, especially not an aggressive deck that has a card that can kill you and also wipe the board. And it deals with tokens really well as well, so that's both really nice. Not too happy to play this land here, but it is what it is. Okay. They have a removal, as it seems like. Just like an aggressive Proliferate shenanigans stuff. Yeah. I think we're gonna maximize the oil counters here. Like, the Sylex is gonna be really interesting in this game, I think, and maybe we manage to pull it off. They have a lot of annoying things here. Sure. Let's see if they still have a removal here. I mean, I'm gonna play this here. Maybe we should have played this, but probably should, yeah. But even like the Drowned Eaker is still really good, so it's kind of hard to protect this one. I'm sure the indestructible counter is really good, but not against the sacrifice and a --. Okay. For now, I think we just keep putting counters on the Sylex. We have 2, and with this we have 7. And we can proliferate soon. So here we go in. We're still on 4, which is still okay. So we put them on 12. Good, they make a token. Want to preserve some damage there. We have good creatures on board. Okay, so next turn we have 5. We have 8. We proliferate. So next turn we actually have already lethal. And let's see how it works. I hope we can do it. I would love to see it, especially for you guys, because you can see we can play Migloz, right? This is 5. Then we proliferate. And then we should get there. So let's have some fun here. If they have a counter, it's gonna be a bit sad. That was sad. We on 6, huh? I mean, if they get us next turn, they get us next turn. But I think it's more better to just attack here. Unlucky. We could have had lethal there, but yeah, that's okay. So they're on 5. Can they put 4 poisons on me? Okay, that is 1 poison. 2 poison with this one, right? Okay, that's no poison yet. Still lethal, and we won the game. If they didn't counter it, we could have done it, but yeah. Another win in our books, and I would say we go next game. Yeah, I mean... we have 2 untapped lands, we drew 1 here. This is a bit too slow in my opinion, but we can top deck some cards. We do have cards to play, so this is a tricky one, right? We do have cards to play. So yeah. I mean, I do like to play them, but we probably go with this one first. Just to play more next turn. And I maybe want to get rid of this. They could have cut down. Oh, maybe block. I don't see not blocking why we shouldn't block here. Okay, so this is a bit more aggressive, which I like. But maybe it's actually better to just drop a Forge. Because the Forge pressures early, and then we play an Adaptive. And then I think we play these. And we still have a Lightning Strike up. So this is a bit of a different way than the last games. Umber Forge is really interesting. I would like to brew more of this, but it gets a lot of oil counters, which is something we like in our deck. Yeah, sure. Sure. And now they probably have maybe like a 3-drop, which has like 3 toughness. They still have this one, but we have a lightning strike in our hand, which is still really good. And they have to be careful here if attacking. I think it's probably... Okay, this is interesting. We can play this and do this, I think. Or maybe go mana efficient and just play the bigger one, but then we don't get another counter there, so I think we go with the Beastcaller here. Just to make them stronger, and this will make everything a 3-3. Seems better to me. And we already have 8 oil counters, as you see. It goes really fast. So now we have 8 oil counters. And if we proliferate, we have 10. And then we draw the card, and it's already 10 damage. So it's surprisingly fast. And we have good blockers. We have good removals in the main deck that also function to go like the distance and face, which I also like. I'm really happy with this configuration I went with here. And yeah, I'm glad I can play some cards I usually don't play. Okay, they got rid of this one. It's a lot of pressure. If we draw a land, it will be a lot of damage here. I still think it's best to just trade here. To play this and go attack. We trade these. If we can. There's a lot of damage here. Like they become 3/3s. This becomes a 3/3. Looks like they have removal. Okay. Not too happy about that. To be fair, I probably will not attack here now. Like I can get rid of this if they play a creature. And if I draw a land, I can also make ours stronger here with our monomats, which sometimes people oversee. And yeah. I mean, obviously we have removal too. This is an interesting one. That's an interesting turn. I feel like it's actually better to destroy this one. And then we attack with Evolving Adaptive and Contaminator. And if they block the Adaptive, we put a counter on it. We can also remove it if we have to, but this is really strong, and we can proliferate, get another counter on the facade again. So here, now we can all use a sorcery, which is okay. That's our bad, I guess. Otherwise it would be probably too broken. I just realized that in game. We learn. After a week back, I'm not sure of all the cards yet, so we learn. There's a lot of damage here. It's not going to be easy to block this. That is the worst card we could have faced. 100%. 100% the worst card to face. But this one can get Menace. So yeah, that we do not like to see. So this is the point where we would like to draw our artifact. Obliterator against Gruul is usually GG, but we have bad cards. 2 of them. That's impressive. Not impressive. So yeah, if we attack, we just lose, right? So can we find the card is the question. Now even with Menace, it's not enough. Well, it is what it is. We still go wide, so maybe if we go wide, we can just overrun it next turn. Because they only can block 2. But yeah, that's not easy. These Obliterators are dangerous, and they cannot attack at least. So we just need to find our cards, and we can never play. Okay. Not too happy, but hey, let's draw our cards. That's a land. If we attack with all, they block 2 and we win now. So that is totally fine. But yeah, we managed against 2 Obliterators. We had a strong enough board, so that was good. But forgetting that the land is a source here was kind of funny, yeah. But hey, 3rd win in a row, let's go next. We go like this. This is aggressive enough. We have 2 options here, depending what we draw next turn. We have Sylex, Wincon, we have a good curve here. If we find a land, we can go Adaptive Scrap into Dominus if you want to, or we can just go Beastcaller first, which I think is probably still the better play. I mean, this will do damage here, but let's just hope it's not red. Let's just hope it's not red. Turn 1 Adaptive is always a good start. It's an island. Deal with that. That's okay. This is where we want to have strong creatures in the beginning. That is important. Strong creatures here in the beginning is definitely super important. If our creature grows, it's good. It's also okay. Getting stronger and stronger. Taking that damage here. Let's go. It's a lot of damage here. We have 5 oil counters also. You do not want to use the Sylex to remove 1. Okay, sure, you have your flyers. But we have a pretty strong board. They most likely have a removal here. I mean a counter. Maybe a bounce. Okay. We're still quite strong here, so we keep pressure. Keep the pressure up. That is still 5 damage. They have a spell piece, which is okay for us. They probably have bounce. Yeah, makes sense. I have to replay it, which is not too cool, but maybe they play Chins. We should go for the instant and sorcery star. So this is where we try to do a board again. It seems like we do. We have quite a strong board, and we have quite a strong attack with 3 creatures next turn due to the oil counter effect there. That's definitely not gonna make it. Yeah, oh my nose. So that's mono blue. They probably realize now that that is 3 damage too. And here we won against mono blue. Mono blue, if you go early strong, it's fine. That is for sure. Like in other ones. It's a damage. And it's a dead one. It's a cut down. No cut down. Interesting. That's a cut down. I will not use the land because they have 100% the cut down. Like, I'm not stupid. And yeah, we can make it bigger here, but I can only keep it for the vortex. So we need to find a land now. That's going to be a bit harder. Yeah, that's not good. That is not good, guys. That is not good. So we had a flood, and now we have a we had a flood, and now we have a screw. Magic, yeah. It's what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Hey, you found something. I'm gonna play this first because I'm pretty sure they have counters in hand. Sonyo, do the counter. Thank you. If you play against control in best of 1 and you don't draw lands, that's where you don't want to be. That's where you don't want to be. If they tap out, maybe you have a chance with Forge. Okay, that is good for us. That's actually good for us, because now we can resolve a Forge. That is really good. Except they have the untapped land. If they have another counter, so be it. Play your counter now. You do have to counter this. Okay. No counter, it's fine. Let's go. They don't have too many answers for fortress usually. They have the blast zone, which is a bit annoying. And this okay. So we shoot this one down. Which doesn't make me too happy. They can blast on 2 here. Definitely want to get rid of the Sorin here. And we super mana screw. This is literally just our Forge. So we don't want to play all the Forge until they use Blast Zone. Blast Zone is quite slow, so that could work. Okay, so our Forge is on 3. Keep trying to do something with the Forge here. As best as we can. Remy Deluge, okay. So now they have 1 more on the... So this is interesting. If you play a spell and they don't counter, Forge will be again 1 more turn stronger. So that's quite nice. So best case scenario is drawing a land for a Raichu here. A red land specifically. Untapped red land. I have to be more specific now. I try to be as specific as possible. I tried. Try my best. I know what they're gonna do next turn, so they have to be like this. Oh, surprise. This costs them mana, so I'm cool with that. Main turning it, it's cool. Sure. You can do that. So pre-combat they will use it, so we cannot use the Forge, so we use the Raichu here. Definitely use the Raichu here. Brings in a lot of damage, because they could have a 2 mana counter though, which would be the worst case scenario. No, even if that 2 mana counter here, it would be still okay. Cut down is the more annoying card here. Sadly, our forge is gone. Still try to apply pressure here. And I think for W or Mana Screw against the control deck, it's not too bad. So I'm kind of okay with this. They really have a lot of removal. But that is fine.
Emotions are distractions. Focus. We can improve upon your idea.
A land draw would be really good. I would have rather played Forge, but only if I had a land draw. Do I care about this one? I mean, they draw cards, so I do actually care. I could go face here, but -1 card draw is -1 chance to find removal for my Raichu here. Because there are a lot of removals going on here. So I'm okay with that. Okay, sure. That is fine by me. That is fine by me. 5 mana. 5 mana. Raska, okay, so we're gonna lose our Raichu here. But we get the mana. So that is kinda okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do is gonna play a Forge. And then we add a counter on the Forge. You. Then get rid of Raska. So this way we have a Forge on the battlefield again. And I think we're actually gonna... I think we're gonna actually play this here. So they have to... just to get an extra clock out. Okay, the Fairy. So the thing is, if they minus, they lose the Fairy. That's really interesting. It's really interesting.
This is my home, and I don't appreciate it when people touch my things. You won't be outsmarting me.
Can I get rid of both? This is a 3-1, huh? Can only get rid of one of them. Yeah, let's see. Interesting draw. I think we just play out what we have. Then they minus, which is a problem. Huh. What is the best case scenario? Best case scenario is actually to use this. Then we're gonna attack Liliana and shoot onto Fairy. Attack Liliana. Shoot onto Fairy.
Couldn't be more annoying.
And play our cards.
I don't know everything about chronomancy.
And now wish opponent good luck here. They have to top deck now. If they're plus, they have to discard, and we don't discard, which is already nice. And we have lethal on board. So let's see. Okay, they found something. And we just go face. Could have a cut down. Again. So they found 2 removals with that one? Pooh, big, 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 big. Them not plussing Liliana helps. That's annoying as hell. That was a really good draw. This is nice. This is a top deck pro over there. How do top deck like a pro? Like they drew the only card they could draw here. That's yeah. You have to do that. That's not easy.
I'll be back with friends.
That's not easy. Professional top decker. My God, what? Just draw every card except that one, please. Just that's all I'm asking for. Like now we probably lost. Especially like this. I don't see that we win this, but we try, of course. I mean, we still have spells to attack. They just find the removal spells now. Probably removal plus the fairy. And that's it. How could they find the one card they need? Otawara off the top now. Otawara off the top, that's the only out.
Violence is necessary.
That's crazy.
I bring my own army.
Good game. So we had some crazy games. We had slower games, faster games, non-games. Yeah, I mean, I overall think the deck is quite good. As I mentioned, it's a tier 2 deck, it's definitely not tier 1. But if you want to play Gruul and you want to have some small combo in it, that's kind of niche and fun. I think this is the way to go. So it has many new cards. So if you are just starting as well, this is something you could maybe be interesting. Like you just use a lot of new cards and some older cards, but you can definitely get rid of them and just add something else if you want to go full oil or whatever. But yeah, I had fun with the deck, and as usual, feel free to subscribe and like and follow me on Twitch, Discord, everywhere. I always would like to hear from your decks, and yeah, thank you for watching, and I wish you a good day and night wherever you are.